views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome. Good afternoon. Happy Thursday to you, Bridge and the Gap family, Real TV family, and the Trinidad and Tobago. You know when I come in hot, that means Naka vex. Yeah, why I vex? Because I want to go straight to the point. Yesterday, I asked the nation to do something. I asked the nation, pray for a missing child that was circulating on social media, which was 17-year-old Adriana Robertson. And here why I vex. Because young girls, some already make it hard for Trinbagonians, the police service, and other authorities to trust missing persons report. You already make it hard for us, man. Because when you have people helter-skelter all over the place, frightened, because we recently went through an experience last weekend, a bad experience that right now it still have us shaken to know you want to be playing up. And it's not you alone, you know. Not you alone. They're making it real difficult for us to trust a missing person report. And now, it's such a frequent thing now. That when you go through the comments, when people see a missing person report with a young girl, a teenage girl, we can't trust all here. The first thing the comment section is like to say she gone by a man. Because it's happening too much. And the people we really supposed to be praying for that missing. People afraid to take it serious. You get me real vexed, man. When I went to man, he had the audacity and brave to go in the comments section to reply to the people who worried about you. To say, you're looking for me, I'm okay. Why are you doing that? It's high time police have to start charging all you. If you're underage, charge your parents. Because Peter pay for Paul and Paul pay for all. Why are you doing that? How me frightened? Asking the nation, asking the Real TV family, Bridge and the Gap family to pray for you. Asking them take the rest of the day and kneel down and pray for this child. But you so bold-faced. Yes, you. I have a message for you. You're so bold-faced. You went in the comment section to say you're okay. But then an article came out, and they said officials close to the investigation said Robinson, along with 2 other persons, was seen in an apartment at Dash Street Enterprise on Tuesday. What you doing there and you live in Mova? What you doing in Enterprise? And your home is in Mova. You see, already be looking for problems. In investigators weren't able to confirm whether the Form 5 student had reported to school for scheduled examinations on the day she went missing. So you have exams. I hope you went to exams, eh? I hope you went to exams and then put you as absentee. An absent student, not absentee, absent. So you have exam schedule on that day and you will decide, okay, you're going to St. Charles, which I believe is in Chaguanas, and you end up in the back at Enterprise. Officials said the trio, including another teenage girl and a man, was also reportedly spotted in the Tunapuna district on Tuesday morning. So St. Charles is in Tunapuna, thank you very much. So you and this next girl, and this man, because they didn't say it's a boy, it's a man, was spotted in Tunapuna, so that means you might not have gone to exams in the district of Tunapuna. Police said there is no information to suggest Robertson was being held against her will. She wasn't being held against her will if she could comment on Facebook. She wasn't held against her will if she was free and bold-faced enough to comment on Facebook. Police are also searching for two other young women believed to be around Robinson's age who are currently unaccounted for. So Olin decided to play hot girl, to be with this big man. And Trinidad and Tobago worried. And then bold-faced. They should charge you. I wish your birthday is next week when you turn 18 and they should charge you as an adult for wasting police time. Authorities say no missing persons, the two minors. Robinson has so far not provided police with details about her whereabouts or about a man who was reportedly seen with her and two other young women in the Tunapuna area on Tuesday morning. Investigations going on. Just now I would play, there's a little thing, just now I played where she had the audacity to comment on Facebook. They say in Trinidad and Tobago, reports of missing young girls often attract significant public attention because of concerns about crime, human trafficking, and violence against women and children. However, not all missing person cases involve abduction or serious criminal activities. Many girls who are reported missing and later found safe and unharmed, sometimes having stayed with friends, relatives, or having left home voluntarily after family disputes. Several examples illustrate this pattern. 14-year-old Antonia Brown was reported missing and was later found safe and reunited with her family. Similarly, Megan Johnson of Tunapuna was located at a friend's house and reported that she had not been harmed. Other cases such as Rhoda Alexander and two 17-year-old girls, Shania Ramjit Singh and Brittany Thompson, were also resolved when girls returned home or were found safe. And I want you all to watch this picture here. These are people who went missing and never returned to tell their story. These are the people who went missing. Some of them have not, some yet were never found. Were not able to tell their story, but you want to be a big woman. Go in the back of Enterprise with two girls and a big man. I telling you, if you was my daughter, I'll beat you in the station, I'll beat you outside the station, I'll beat you when you go home, when you bathe, you get licks. When you get up, you get licks, you're eating licks because you ain't wasting my time. You ain't going to have me as a mother worried. You wouldn't have me as a mother worried, sick. When a mother worried about a child, she's feeling it in her womb. You know? But you want to be a big grown woman. I want to be in the back of enterprise. Because you tell yourself, you're in Form 5 and you're going to finish school just now. They say there are several reasons why some young girls are reported missing but later found safe. Family conflicts and runaways, arguments with parents or guardians can lead some teenagers to leave home temporarily without informing family members. Concerned relatives then report them missing. In some cases, the girls return on their own after a short period, staying with friends and relatives. Some young people go to stay with friends, partners, or relatives without obtaining permission or notifying their guardians. While they may not consider themselves missing, family members often have no way of knowing their whereabouts and contact the police. But parents, I'm going to tell you something. If all you know, you have a child, because I feel, and again I'm feeling, this is not the first time she do this. Or this is not the first time you have an idea that she want to do it. So before going to the police, if you know you have a troublesome child, check the friends. Check who she accustomed talking to all the time. That's why I always say, until you reach 18, it's in a no lock on your phone. Because I want to know who's your friends. I want to know who's your partners. Who's your boyfriend. Who's your potential boyfriend. Because you see, in these times, you can't play for slips. You see your 3 points? You can't play with your 3 points. You have to know your child. Parents have to start knowing their children, know the mind, know the think. Because I am sure you get some kind of sign that she on folly. Even grown women too. There's a case that happened 2 months ago with a young lady from Arima. I don't know, they say she's special needs, I don't know, I'm not no doctor. And she left the house, meet a man some days before. You ain't know the man from a can of paint or whence cometh. But meet the man some days before and shack up with the man. She didn't carry no clothes. She didn't carry no bag. She go on and have on the man clothes. When the family looking all over, plastered all over social media, she was then later found and said she in love with this man she met some days ago and she's staying there. But she's a grown woman. But at the same time, you would have get charged. Because you can't have police like deer in headlights all over the place looking for you and you up in some kind of field, a coconut patch, comfortable, because it's up in a coconut patch. They find her very happy, you know. While your parents home worried about you. I would have charged you. But we going for a break and I'm coming back, I tell you, that long young lady, she get me real mad. Because I was home praying for a safe return when you was up in down in Enterprise having a merry time. We'll be right back.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Ladies and gentlemen, young people, senior citizens, it is my pleasure and privilege to invite you to look at the program Inspired on Real TV at 2 p.m. every Wednesday afternoon. Inspired is designed to lift your spirits, to help you overcome depression and failure so you could be an outstanding, extraordinary success. We have special experts every Wednesday who will inspire you to do better, to be your best self. So may God bless you. And remember, every Wednesday at 2 p.m., please look out for the program Inspire.
Hello everyone, I'm Kwesi Park. I invite you to join me right here on Real TV for the program Unfiltered Youth. This series will engage a panel of young persons from a very diverse cross-section of our society, talking or discussing the real issues affecting them in their daily lives. So join me right here on Real TV on Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. with repeats on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join me for Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV. It's not just another talk show, it's a space for real stories, real insight, and real impact. We cover it all: health, law, parenting, relationships, drug and substance abuse, mental health, social issues, and so much more, with expert guests who help bring clarity to life's most important questions. So whether you're looking to be informed, empowered, or simply inspired, this show is for you. Weekdays at 10 a.m. with repeats on Real TV.
So welcome back. So, they say there are many issues. And as well as we have to remember, to have some children that come from abusive homes. But at the same time, when you come from these abusive homes, there are always places that you can go to cry for help. But don't pick up yourself and leave. You had to be a grown woman. I remember I was in Standard 5. After lessons, I decided to follow. I never do this in my life before. I decided to follow some friends and go a little way from my home. And the mom, she cooked and, but she did ask, your parents know all they here? And I lied and I say yes. But it's still daytime. But we got lost track of time, and when we walked outside, it was dark. And when I got so frightened, I could have wet myself. Because I said, how I going home and lessons finished since 12:30, and it's 6 o'clock. My mother home bawling because she said somebody gone, because I was skinny. I was real portable. Somebody gone with, she last picked me. And I decided I was frightened, and I running out the road looking to go home. And I see my sister up and down looking for me and spot me. According to my mother, spot my wire foot running up the road trying to reach home. And my sister dragged me in that car. And she said, what, when you go home, what going to meet you? And as I reached by that front door was licks. Because the first thing my parents was looking to do was head to the police station. Because they're not accustomed to me just picking up myself. Lessons finishing 12:30. And 6 o'clock, I by my friend's house after lessons. I think it was pay loud, the mother buy snacks, we went to the snack shop. And it's licks I get. I think that was the first time my father ever beat me. Well, give me licks. And mind you, I never lose my mind to do that again. Because when I realized the seriousness when I reached home and saw my mother bawling because she was frightened. She never saw her daughter come home lessons after lessons finished since 12:30 and the daughter ain't come home yet. No, somebody kidnapped my child. And in those days, they didn't have the kind of rape and murder with these young people, how we have it prevalent today. And when I get that licking, mind you, I never did it again. And from Form 1 to Form 4, my father dropped and picked me up from school until I begged that I want to travel home. So, when you have parents, need to be concerned about their children. But you have some children that are going through certain situations, but at the same time, it does not warrant you to pick up yourself and leave, especially in these times. We have predators, and all they like to play all they too grown. And then you have the nation, and see, and then you all your vex when all they go in the comments and see people lambasting all you. But sometimes the things that people say in the comment section, sometimes it turns out to be true. So you know how the nation going to watch you now? We're not going to trust you. So if you really end up missing, you know they're not going to take you on. You have to stop playing this kind of fakery thing. Crying wolf. I tell you, I really got upset, you know. I really got upset. Communication issues. Teenagers may switch off their phones, ignore calls, or fail to communicate their plans. Teenagers switch off phone, ignore my call, or fail to communicate their plans. This can quickly escalate into a missing person report, especially when family members fear for their safety. I am 30-something years old, and if I leave my house and I don't tell my mother what time, or if I come back home later or I come back home the next day, and I don't call my mother, I am telling you, when I reach home, and I'm a big woman, when I reach home, or she might call my phone and start a quarrel, and I am a big woman. So far less for a teenager who the parent know that gone to school for exams, and you with a big man in the back of enterprise. All right. Precautionary reporting by families and police. Authorities encourage families to report disappearances immediately rather than waiting. Remember, long time they used to say, call in the next 24 hours or the next 48 hours. We can't do that again. Because in the next 24 to 48 hours, anything can take place. And with human trafficking, with human trafficking, they have literally 24 hours to find you. After 24 hours, you are gone. And that is reality. They literally have 24 hours to find you in a human trafficking situation, or less than. And you could be gone sooner than that. Within 24 hours max. That is how quick somebody could disappear with human trafficking. People don't know the severity. how things going right now in our country. We have human trafficking that going on right now. It have people right now we could never find. They never found them. I had a co-worker where I used to work before, years ago. That was back in 2014. And she works with me. And married woman with children. Left her home to travel to come to work, and she never reached the work. She they never found her since 2014. She's missing. Very sweet, quiet individual. 2014, left her home to come to that company in Mova, and she never came to work, never reported to work since 2014. Who will know would know. Sweet, sweet girl. So they're telling you don't wait and report it immediately. As a result, some cases are resolved quickly once the child is located. This proactive approach helps protect children even when no crime has occurred. And when I was doing my research this morning, I saw so many cases that was found. A 17-year-old from Tobago was found staying by a friend. A 14-year-old from Point Lisas by a man. One from St. Joseph, 14 again, by a friend. A 17-year-old, I believe, I can't remember the exact place, Couva, found. When police find you and you by a friend and you can't call your mother, even though you and your parents maybe have a rift, you can't text a friend, even if you don't want to answer them. Text a friend and tell your friend to tell your parents, hey, let them know I'm safe. Even if you don't want them to know where you are. But don't have wasting our resources to look for you. Having hunters search and rescue, wasting their time to look for you. And you titivating yourself, gallivanting in Shogunas. All right. Despite these cases, it is important not to assume that all missing girl reports are harmless, because every case they have to treat it with severity. It's a serious case. Every case you have to deal with it in a serious manner. Trinidad and Tobago has also experienced tragic cases involving violence exploitation. Some missing children and young women have been victims of serious crimes, which is why every report must be treated as a genuine emergency until person's safety is confirmed. So, besides wasting resources, and I wanted to post that picture where she was found and the comment where she replied, saying she's okay. Hey guys, this is Adriana. I am safe, okay? You real bold-face. You real bold-face, Adriana. Sorry to say. Adriana, I'm a good man, you know. Because I worried about you all going home and saying, I hope they find this girl and this girl and end up a statistic, you know. I real praying for them to find you. And you having a good time. While you have people here worried. But we're going for a break. And I'm coming to a conclusion with Adriana, because anytime I talk about Adriana again, she go get me vexed. So let me conclude on this particular case, please, because she get me upset. So we're going for a break, and when we come back, more bridging the gap.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us. In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. Real News digital publication. Stay informed, stay educated, stay empowered.
Are you looking for the right space for your business? Fred's Plaza has the space you need. We offer professional rental spaces designed for growing businesses. Conveniently located in San Juan on the Eastern Main Road, opposite the PTSC terminal and between Royal Castle and Mario's. Easy access, high visibility. For inquiries, call or WhatsApp 868-384-7142 today, or visit Level 3 Fred's Plaza for details.
The Ambassador's Daughter, weekdays at 11 a.m., only on Real TV.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us. In a world...
So to close off this part, I tell you, I don't want to talk about that beautiful child anymore. The fact that many reported missing girls are later found safe does not mean the reports were unnecessary. Missing persons alerts serve an important protective function by mobilizing communities, law enforcement, and social services quickly. While some cases involve misunderstandings, family disputes, or voluntary absences, others may involve real danger. Therefore, each report should be taken seriously until authorities can verify the individual's safety and well-being. So, sweetheart, don't do that again, please. And anybody who want to think about doing that, don't do that again, please. Don't do that again, please. Don't put the nation through that kind of anxiety and turmoil. Because right now we are grieving for one that couldn't tell a story. And yesterday I applaud the villagers last evening. They had a march through the village yesterday evening for Mercedes. And they were beating drums on the streets. This is the kind of thing that this village have to go through while you playing up. Playing 3 points with your life. And wasting the country's time and resources. Right now, a village marching through the streets. Yesterday evening, mourning a child that is not here today. So please, don't do that now. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. If you don't want to be home, better you text them and say, I don't want to be home and don't look for me. But I'm okay. But don't disappear. Especially as a teenager, a minor. Come now, man, do better than that. Shake up yourself. I hope this is a reality check for you and so many others who did it and who thinking of doing it. There should be a wake-up call, and it's high time the authorities start charging these children. And if they can't charge them, charge the parents. Because you cannot be wasting the police time searching for you while they should be searching for a child or a woman or a man that needs to be searched for. Come now, man, do better than that. It is very disappointing. I'm real disappointed in that. Because when I come to work today, no. I say, I have my topic today. But I say, I have to talk about you today. I can't leave it alone. And social media ain't giving you a rest, you know. The people on social media, they're brutal right now, you know. They ain't resting you, girl. Look what you cause. Look at the embarrassment you cause your family. Look at the embarrassment you cause your friends. And the thing is, your two friends not on social media, you know. The picture's not up, you know. But it's your picture. So right now, them save face. Your picture all over the place. Not the other two, you know. But the other two should get plastered as well. Peter pay for Paul and Paul pay for all. Andy, man. Because at the end of the day, you are causing embarrassment to not only yourself. I feel them teenagers and them nowadays, I feel them don't care, you know. Them have a kind of don't care attitude. Them will be like, all right, I was on social media, I was all over the place. I think there's a pips with them. This Gen Z generation we have here, 10 seconds of fame, them like that. They're on social media. But what embarrassment you're causing your family and causing your school. That school might be saying, thank God you live in this term. And that school is a very good school. The embarrassment of the school. Knowing that you leave in your uniform and pictures in your uniform all over. You know how embarrassed our school feeling? You know how embarrassed your family feeling? I know it mightn't bother you. But come now, man, better than that young lady. Don't do it again. But anyway, you're turning 18 just now, so if you do it, you do it. But don't put people in that kind of mindset. It is not right. I'm telling you, all you go to sleeping with this only wear pajamas. You see people who was kneeling down praying for your safe return? I'm telling you, be careful. God have a way of shaking you up, eh? So be careful. But all right, enough for, and before, no. And rest in peace and condolences to families that those who did not get the chance to tell their story. Rest in peace to those who did not get a chance to tell their story because of what missing persons reports, and they were actual statistics. And may the soul rest in peace, and those that were never found. So we put that to rest because I want to end off with that. I want to give respect to the ones that are no more here today. So we're moving on. I'm going to my main the topic that I really have to talk about today. And last night I viewed a TikTok debate. And the TikTok debate was very interesting. And it is one that I myself So it was a good idea, personally. I didn't have a problem with it. But when it was different people, I like to watch people from different countries with different views, because remember, different cultures, they will have different ideologies. And they were talking about this remote working from home and working, physically in a building, in office, in a physical form in the offices and whatever, wherever it may be. And the debate was, and a lot of women who were mothers said it worked well for them. But these people that work from home, that work for working from home, they said, and these people it was people not from Norway, New Zealand, different parts of Europe, and these places in Europe that promotes the working from home, they also promote women who have children to stay home with their children until the child is 2 years. They are being paid to stay home with their children until they are 2 years old, because they believe that is the bonding stage of a child's first, walk in life. And the others said, working from home helps in terms of finances, because the commute is a bit expensive. Some have to take cabs. Cabs in America are real expensive, eh? Cabs in America are very expensive. It's cheaper to walk and take a train. It's cheaper to fly than take a cab. So a lot of them were saying trains don't run by them, so they have to take a cab, take a Uber, take a Lyft. And the traveling is very expensive. Some disagreed. Some said it causes antisocial behavior, where people tend to become very isolated. Then they talk about people getting lazy. Then they talk about distractions if you are working from home. And a lot of them were saying, if we work from home, creating this working from home, it causes people to not communicate with each other. And when I listened to the debate, because I was pro some years ago, I was real pro working from home. But during the course of the years, I realized about myself, I'm very isolated when I'm home. So don't feel naka here, real talky. I'm not talky home. I'm very isolated. I'm something called an ambivert. I'm an introvert, extrovert. So when I look off from talking here, I like to be in a quiet space at home. Very rare you will see me carrying on. I will carry on conversations. But after 5 minutes, I'm overstimulated. So, we're going for a break. And we will go down, and I want to play some videos because I want you all to see the pros and cons of working from home and in the physical form. Stay tuned.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
I am Walter Stewart, President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations Incorporated. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, where we look at NPTA Speaks, National Parent-Teacher Association Speaks, on topical and relevant issues pertaining to parents, teachers, education, and students of Trinidad and Tobago. This, of course, encapsulates local, regional, and international audiences every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, NPTA Speaks.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security. We protect your home, business, community, and much more. Our services include professional baton and armed officers, specialized K-9 units, mobile patrols, secure cash pickups, secure transport, and pepper spray applications and supply coming soon. Don't wait. Secure your assets now. Contact Catch Security today. Call 622-6601, email info@cssl-tt.com, or visit our office at 30-32 Saddle Road, Maraval.
I been a work from home person in my 20s, I would not be where I am now. It's Friday, all of the product teams are in, the rest of the office is pretty empty. And, and I think post-COVID, people have really taken the liberty of, as we allow them, right, they can come in 4 days a week. And it's interesting because we talk so much about the flexibility of working from home and what Zoom life has kind of done for business. But we don't talk about any of the rigidity of it and what it takes away from work. And I can tell you and I can guarantee you that had I been a work from home person in my 20s, I would not be where I am now. There is no doubt in my mind. And I think about some, I met my husband at work. I made some of my best, strongest relationships in my life that are the most important things to me and the foundation of my happiness and my being a solid person at work. That's where those relationships come from. And so I think it's really interesting now that we have this aversion of wanting to be away from the office all of the time. And I'm like, oh, that's it's so interesting to me because I'm like an in-person person. I want to be with people. I want to collaborate. I want to do things quickly. And the culture of work right now makes that so hard. So I think, yes, you can teach someone to have grit. But I can't teach you on a screen, babe. I can't reach you. You won't see how I move. And in that same way that I had this woman that sat behind me and I would take notes of everything she said, that happened in real time, right? She would walk out of the room and I'd be on my next new business call saying her lines. It was just that quick and that immediate, and I would test it out and I'd make it my own. All of that is lost. And so I feel a little bit sad for the way that we're working right now because I don't think that we're having that exchange of, what happens when you're in a really dynamic environment and you're able to learn from people around you because we're not as together as we once were.
And she has a valid point there. I wanted to play that because, when I listened to that point that she made, she has valid points. And they said over the past 6 years, because remember, this whole working from home, this remote working started off when we were in the pandemic, experiencing the pandemic. And I am telling you, from my experience, I substituted for a Form 3 class. And, teaching online. But I tried to make the class very lively. I used to have icebreakers, let them express themselves before we go into the topic of the day. But what I gathered and experienced during that online and working from home situation, the children were a bit more disrespectful. Because they know that you're not any physical, where they would not tell you in your face, They might show you attitude, but some of them will tell you, but they won't tell you in your face. And one young fella, and when that happened, I was distraught that day because I did not know what it meant. And that young man today, which I'm very proud of him right now, he is in the police academy. I'm very, very proud of him. And he always messaged me on Facebook and he said, Miss, you're proud. I'm very proud of him today. He's in the police academy as we speak. And, by the police service. And he asked me, Miss, use a lash-up head? I said, a lash-up head? And the class started to giggle because they knew what it was. Remember these children with the urban zesting talk? The kind of zest, twang they have. And I went to my WhatsApp status and I started asking people, anybody could give me the meaning what a lash-up head means. And the persons told me what a lash-up head means. A female zester who pop pills and is promiscuous. I put him out of my class immediately. But I didn't totally put him out. He had a punishment because he had a whole research paper to do for me. And I made sure and I told him, don't copy and paste because I have plagiarism app on my computer, so I will know if you copy and paste. So in that experience, the online tutoring, a lot of teachers had a lot of difficulty with the remote teaching. It was very difficult to even get their attention. It was difficult with the communication because all of them was talking at the same time. And even when I was studying, when I did my thesis, I did my last part in studying during the pandemic. And let me tell you something, it was the most stressful thing that you could ever experience as a student. Sometimes I used to just put my thing on mute. I used to tell them, wake me up when class done. Because it used to be frustrating. Because everybody talking at the same time. Sometimes they're trying to ask a question in the comments. And there's so many people because the class is 200 and something people in the class. And the lecturer can't read all. So I used to tell them, wake me up when class finish. I will read my notes after. And then sometimes the lecturer, he confused, he's stressed out. And some of them, they're not technically inclined. They're not good, they're not IT tech, they're not good with how to navigate. All they know is to press record and press finish. So reading the comments and all was a difficult situation for them. God alone knows how I graduate. And plenty people, a lot of people failed in my year because of the online tutoring. A lot of them did not pass. They didn't pass the thesis. I passed my thesis with God. Because the online, this remote thing was a very difficult situation for a lot of people during the pandemic. So over the past 6 years, remote work has transformed from relatively uncommon arrangement into a major part of the modern workplace. While some employers initially worried that working from home would reduce productivity, numerous studies have found that many employees maintained and in some cases improved their productivity while working remotely. Today, they will discuss why this happened why this happened, the benefits, the challenges of remote work, and what it means for future work. So we're going into the pros and cons. Because I say the pros is increased flexibility. Yes, it is increased flexibility. They say remote work allows employees to manage their schedules more effectively. Many workers can complete tasks during their most productive hours, leading to better performance and efficiency. And I agree with that at some point, because remember when you're working in an office space, when you're working in an office space and you have a time to go to work for, remember, you then have to prepare yourself 3 hours in advance, because if you have to travel, you have to make sure you have your clothes in order. You have to make sure you have a taxi. If you're taking 2 taxis, 3 taxis to get to work, you have to make sure you have to beat the traffic. Even when driving, if you're driving, some of you have to leave home, if you're living in the east and working in Port of Spain, you have to leave home at a certain hour to beat the traffic. So when you're working from home now, it gives you more flexibility in terms of if you know you have to work for 8, you can wake up about a little 45 minutes before to prepare yourself to go and start your day. Even if you have children, you could get up, make sure the children in order, get a little rest, set your mind, and then start your productive day. But still, that's why I say that always are the pros and cons. So we're dealing with the pros. I ain't going to go to the cons yet. Reduce commuting time, as I just said. Employees save time and money by eliminating daily travel to and from work. The time saved can be used for work tasks, personal activities, or rest, which may improve productivity and well-being. And that's true as well, as I said before. If you have to prepare your children for school, you have to prepare yourself for the work, you then now can settle your mind to start work. Fewer workplace distractions. That's a good point as well. Traditional offices can include interruptions from meetings, conversations, and noise. Working remotely often provides a quieter environment that allows employees to focus more deeply on their work. And I will use here as an example. But here, everybody does be in their own space. Trust and believe. Everybody, master control in master control, production in production, marketing in marketing. Everybody is in their own space. Yes, we will have our time, we will have our kicks and laugh. But when it's time to work, we go into our spaces, in our zone, and we get to go. And that's one thing I like about here. We always, it's not no time for you to lag. Yes, we have lagging time, we have leisure time, your lunch hour, after work, leisure time. But when it's time for productivity, we do play when it comes to that. So we're going for a break and we're going in, and then we have more videos because I want you all, we're doing the pros and cons here, and I want us, you could argue if you're for it or if you're against it. But we're going for a break, and when we come back, Bridging the Gap.
And opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us. I am Zalisa Budusing Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Macon Construction Company Limited. Save big whilst building stronger. We build with our Macon innovative building systems, which provides high wind speed, earthquake, sea blast and fire resistance. Is thermally and acoustically insulated. Provides improved construction timelines and cost savings. We provide construction services from design to finish and everything in between. Macon Construction Company Limited. Building green today with tomorrow's technology. Contact or visit us today.
In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential, Real News digital publication. Stay informed, stay educated, stay empowered.
Don't have to commute to work, work more. That's according to a new study from the National Bureau of Economic Research. It found those employees spend the time they would be traveling to the office working instead. Researchers say working from home saves the average American about 55 minutes of traveling per day.
People have learned that if you can work remotely, a lot of things can get done and you can balance your personal and your work life better in many situations.
While 40% of employees spent that saved travel time working, some also used it for leisure activities like exercising and reading, while others used it for childcare.
Right. So those are the people that are for remote working. They say better work-life balance. That is why I played that video. Remote work can help employees balance professional responsibilities with personal commitments. Greater balance often leads to higher job satisfaction and lower stress levels. I won't disagree with that. Cost savings for employers and employees. Employees may spend less on transportation, meals, and work attire. Employers can reduce costs related to office space, utilities, and maintenance. Not necessarily, because not all workspaces that people can work, you need to come to work. They need to have some sort of production in an office space. Especially here, you need to have some sort of production in an office space in some organizations where you have to come to work. Access to a wider talent pool. Organizations can hire qualified employees regardless of their geographic location, increasing opportunities to find skilled workers. And this is something that I will touch on, because there are a lot of workplaces that you are qualified to work for, but because of where the place is located, they would not hire you. And when you go to job sites online, you will see some job applications. They will say preferably in the so-and-so, living in whatever area the company is. And it kind of limits you to accessing people to apply for certain jobs. And we have a caller here on the line. Welcome to Bridging the Gap.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, miss.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Well, I started taking your program now, right? You hear me, miss?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I started taking your program, and with the kids and them now.
Yes.
And the saying is kids, but the senior students didn't get a chance. But the point I want to make is that, you know, the part I like, what I mentioned, is that we ain't giving the children the time to grow.
Yes.
Parents putting this kind of plots in children hair. So, you understand? It's education, the education is in the program. Right? Parents doing that. Right, as I mentioned, because you mentioned yesterday, and that touched me. I mean, this morning when I mentioned about the elderly, what's it's easy, and so that you're talking about the children. Okay, you said, let that child be a child.
Yes.
It's a nice little plot. Oh, God. It's a nice little plot. What do you think happening on TV? Let me say, you're going home and your TV home then. You might have to 3 of them and leave them home. What's what these ladies and the black people doing? Putting the battery to the TV and the screen. Where we going? Where we going, sister? Where we going? And with the elderly, you touch me on that because I see there's a black boy at River, we race. I'm playing talk bad manners.
Yeah.
Because the same, it's also men who could come up and still talk to the brothers and thing, you know. We used to call it brothers long time. It's not brothers and sisters again, you know. That long time. That went Daga was relevant. And it's all kind of thing about Daga. They said Daga betrayed me. And Daga this and Daga that. People say, okay, turn out Daga used to have. When people turn out so people find, well, and Jack's supposed to go for election. Yeah, because it's about call from here to north, from south to north. Yeah, so crowd. Well, listen, you know it's our old force game? Well, I'll call it our old force. We lost in the east.
Yeah.
We lost in the west. We lost in the north. And we lost in the south. And as a brother says something, he says something that it is a blight, and I'm telling you plain talk, sister. I know party man. I just did it for 4 months.
Right.
For 4 months. The jacket.
Yeah.
That's why my Prime Minister, she just put on her boots. She said, when she put on her boots, now. And the best of the politicians, she had it. Okay. They will make sure Kamala they will treat Kamala like princess, like the Queen of England. No, I don't think it too like you. Okay. So the thing is, I like that thing you mentioned about the children. Yes. Because if you watch how they send over that little girl, oh God, I know we try to touch on that, huh? When I mean because that's the topic still going on.
Yes.
But you know, we won't mention it to break the family spirit. Yeah. But I don't know where to trust a child. There's not no way. It's not the way. Long time you said the kind of thing, I two kind of thing, you clip it. Our family, sisters and cousins and things, and when they hear the party and they're going to school, it's all that kind of thing. You used to clip a wrong thing, and they clip the ear. No. I watched someone, some sports thing. I seen a little child can go 5 to 6. Don't have braids already in the head. And as you go, the braids getting longer, and the brain getting stupider. Playing for bad manners. Read something. We can shake myself or Satan taking over the African people in general and Tobago. And Tobago, God bless Tobago. Chief Secretary, keep Run them when you come in the country, chief secretary. Run them. Put 2 blocks on your foot and put them in the ocean. Have a good day, sister.
All right, caller. All right, caller.
Yeah, have a good sister. Have a good day.
You do. Thank you for
2
calling.
blocks on your foot and throw them in the ocean.
All right, caller.
Okay, thank you for listening to me.
All right, no problem.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, caller. There at the end, in the view, at the end of the last scene is the views of the caller, not of Real TV. All right, but thank you so much for your contribution and calling in there. I'm glad that you are locked on and listening, and I'm glad that I'm able to, talk about everything that touch every issue that involves Trinidad and Tobago. That is what I am about. All of we are issues. All of us going through something in life, right? So we are going back into the topic. Access to wider talent. So I said that, right? Organizations can hire. So I gave the point where people are limited because now business places and companies, they're worrying, with transportation, and if you will get to work on time, and in terms of productivity, and they put a lot of things in perspective, and if the salary will meet with you and transportation, there's a lot of things. They want a person, an employee that is close by, and then too, you are qualified, you are well experienced, but because it is not in a zone or district that you are living in, it prohibits you from accessing the job. So I understand that point as well. Higher employee satisfaction. Workers who value flexibility often report greater job satisfaction, which can improve motivation, engagement, and retention. That's a kind of iffy one. But we are going to show you a video, and I want to play this. Do we have a next clip? Oh, no. Well, we will go into the cons. So we're going into the cons. Those were the pros. So we're going into the cons. Communication challenges. And this is something that happened a lot in the pandemic. Remote teams may experience delays in communication or misunderstandings due to the lack of face-to-face interaction. This can affect teamwork and collaboration. And when it comes to this, even when in work or in school, there are lots of people who, yes, you will have Zoom call activity. You will have Zoom call activity. But when it's time for you to get the information or for somebody to get an email or you send an email to someone, because remember you're dealing with everything via online and using whatever the email addresses and emailing each other. When in a remote situation, it's how some people after a Zoom call and work, they're the zone off, eh? You're supposed to send an email by 1 o'clock. Zoom call finished 12. You have an hour to send this email, and a lot of people, you might check, you send them an email, and when you do, people like me sometimes, I have that problem. I don't always read my emails all the time. I don't ever dig down in my emails all the time. It have a lot of people who send me emails, and they said, hey, I emailed this to you. I see emails that people send me since last week. That's why I always tell people, if you send me an email, WhatsApp me and let me know that the email is sent. Then I will go into the email. And that is where the miscommunication happens a lot. It's about a lot of times where, in terms of talking to each other in the meetings, the information sometimes gets lost in translation. So all of that is a con in terms of the communication challenges. But we're going into a break, and when we come back, bridging the gap.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Hello everyone, I am the Reverend Clifford Rawlins, minister of the Diego Martin United Church and a published author. I am inviting you to join me on Real TV for Honest to God, where we are honest with what Scripture is and says and addressing topical issues in Christianity in a postmodern context and post-colonial Caribbean landscape. Provocative, controversial, stimulating, and above all, openly honest. Every Tuesday at 2 to 3 p.m. right here on Real TV.
Honest to God, I'm coming clean. Honest to God.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. Real News digital publication. Stay informed. Stay educated, stay empowered.
Hello everyone, I am the Reverend Clifford Rawlins, minister of the Diego Martin United Church and a published author. I am inviting you to join me on Real TV for Honest to God, where we are honest with what Scripture is and says and addressing topical issues in Christianity in a postmodern context and post-colonial Caribbean landscape. Provocative, controversial, stimulating, and above all, openly honest. Every Tuesday at 2 to 3 p.m. right here on Real TV.
Honest to God, I'm coming clean. Honest to God.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. Real News digital publication. Stay informed. Stay educated, stay empowered.
Time to solve the age-old question, should we offer remote work or not? I dove into the research and this is what we found. 56% of working Americans believe that working in the office would actually improve their happiness and resilience at work. Working in the office. While you might say, Michelle, that's barely over half. The research also showed that employees who work in the office are actually happier than those who work remotely. Now, don't get me wrong, the research also showed that people valued being able to choose their own working environments, whether that is remote work, hybrid, or working full-time in the office. However, what also found some things that the research can't show, even though we know it to be true. Employees are more likely to give each other patience and grace when they know each other and know what's going on in each other's lives. If they have the opportunities to talk and to connect, they are more likely to be able to be patient if there's a hiccup or contention around a project. What you can do is be intentional about team time. You likely have a remote or hybrid team right now, especially if you started hiring in other places outside of where your home office has been over the last 4 years. What you can do is decide to bring people together as much as possible, both virtually and in person. 65% of respondents said that they welcome more team building activities and live events. They want to connect with their team members and they want to have opportunities to get to know them. Now, if you don't have the budget to be able to bring them in for live events, figure out how you can have virtual connection time. When 2020 hit, my husband was a manager of a remote sales team. He always had a remote team, but he created a time for them to connect regularly where they got together on Zoom without him. It gave them an opportunity to just ask questions, to feel like they weren't on display. Their manager wasn't checking in on what they were talking about, but it was just water cooler time where they could have a chat and talk and connect. Other times, he was intentional about bringing them together to have conversations, to talk about activities, to do different things, and would often find ways to make it fun, whether he gave them a budget to bring in lunch or they had games that they were able to do virtually. One of my favorite things about my friend Sydney Jakes is that anytime she has a meeting, both virtually or in person, she has what's called the connection question. Before they talk about the agenda or the orders of the day, she goes around the room and asks everyone to answer a simple question, whether it's what's your favorite beverage or what's your favorite holiday tradition or what's your favorite Christmas memory or what's your favorite summer vacation that you've ever been on or where would you like to go next? The connection questions are endless, but they work to help bridge the gaps and help people find ways that they can connect with each other and find common ground. You'll often hear people in the course of those meetings say, "Oh, me too." And then they find ways to deepen their relationship outside of just work conversations. Whatever it is, what the results are showing us is that as managers, leaders, and as business owners, you have to be intentional about how you create opportunities for your team to connect. More than half said that they would like to read more books and listen to more podcasts on happiness and resilience. You can create learning clubs where people who are interested could come and discuss what they're learning about. You can find books that will also provide the training necessary from the other conversations that we've been having about retention, productivity, innovation, and being good team players. And as you help your employees understand and improve their happiness and resilience, we know that those things will increase. So you actually are getting a double benefit, ways for them to connect and also ways for them to learn. You can also make it a point either quarterly or annually to get together in person so that people can see the whites of each other's eyes and to connect on a more one-on-one basis. Regardless, what we know for sure is that this conversation is not over. I wish we could answer once and for all about what to do with remote environments, or is it the time to bring everyone internally? Even if we know that people value being able to choose their own environments and that their happiness level actually is determined based off whether or not they have connection is key. Connection is the key to building a strong and valuable team. Connection is the key to great communication. And connection is the key to have a team that is both happy and resilient and able to work together. Whether you have a team of 2 or a team of 2,000 or more, find ways to increase the conversation.
So that was just a video giving you insights of pros, the pros and cons of, remote and physical working. So we're on the cons part. And this part is something I could testify for. It caused social isolation. Many employees miss the social interaction and sense of community found in traditional workplaces. Isolation can negatively affect moral and mental being. When working from home, I am glad that I come to work because I am a person, I'm not a big party person. I don't really go out. In my early 20s and early 30s, of course, I'm outside. But I rather be inside my house, especially how the times are getting worse. And according to the Movelang term, Wusara, where I am not a person, I don't really go out. So here, coming to work, socializing, it helps with my social skills. Because when I am at home, I don't even come up my house and socialize with neighbors much. If I see you outside, hi, how you going? And inside. So all of that is social isolation, difficulty separating work and personal life, and that is true. When working from home, employees may find it challenging to establish boundaries between work and personal time, leading to longer working hours and potential burnout. And that's true as well. Home distractions. Not all home environments are ideal for work, especially if you live in a very humongous family, an extended family, where you have granny, auntie, nanny, uncle, cousin, sister-in-law, 10 babies running around. It is very distracting, and it causes you not to focus as you should. Family responsibilities, household chores, noise, and limited workspace can reduce productivity for some employees. Not everybody living in a house where you could have your own little space, have your own little home office. Sometimes you're in a small space, and then while you're working, you're cooking, Zoom going on and on. You mute the Zoom, you take off the camera, and you're cooking your soup, your pilau, your curry duck, your ham and your jam, and forgetting and not paying attention to what you're supposed to be doing in your work hours. Productivity for some employees, it can reduce the productivity. Because when you're in the comfort of your home, there are some workspaces, especially when you're in Zoom meetings, they don't allow you to put on the camera. Or you just mute the mic. So sometimes, because I am telling you, I am guilty of it. I am guilty of it. So don't put me in no remote. Because I like to take off camera, and especially when you say mute, I going to do something. So it's better you tell me come out of work. Better you tell me come out because I'm real good at that. That's why I rather everybody put on the camera. So you will know that the presence is there. So those are some of the distractions. So we have team cohesion, reduced team cohesion, building strong workplace relationships and organizational culture can be more difficult when employees rarely meet in person. Because when all you're talking to somebody like that, it comes like Facebook. You're talking to somebody, you're saying how you're going, all right, you need this work. But when it comes to in the physical form, all you don't really gel together because you don't know the person. Whereas if you're in the physical, in the office space, physically, you build a bond, not saying that has to be a partner, you know. Your work friend don't have to be a partner, but you have that bond in terms of communicating with each other and having that work relationship. But we're going for a break and we're going to continue because this is very vital for you all to know. And I think I'm glad that I brought this across to educate, and we are all learning together because right now I'm reading and I learning myself. Right? So we're going for a break, and when we come back, we have more in store.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Hello, everyone. I am the Reverend Clifford Rawlings, minister of the Diego Martin United Church and a published author. I am inviting you to join me on Real TV for Honest to God, where we are honest with what Scripture is and says, and addressing topical issues in Christianity in a postmodern context and post-colonial Caribbean landscape. Provocative, controversial, stimulating, and above all, openly honest. Every Tuesday at 2 to 3 p.m. right here on Real TV.
Honest to God, I'm coming clean. Honest to God.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
Issues are often overlooked or downplayed. There's still a stigma around mental health in many workplaces, and people might feel hesitant to speak up about their struggles. Also, remote work is often presented as this amazing solution to all our work-life balance problems. It can be hard to admit that it's not working out as well as we hoped, but the reality is, about 20% of remote workers struggle with loneliness, and another 18% find it difficult to unplug from work. The physical separation from colleagues is a big part of this. When you're not in the same space as your coworkers, it's harder to build relationships and feel a sense of connection and belonging. You miss out on those small, everyday interactions that make you feel part of a team. This isolation can have some serious consequences. It can lead to poor decision-making and even impact your career progression. Without face-to-face time with management, you might miss out on opportunities for advancement. The blurring of work-life boundaries is another factor contributing to this isolation. When your home is your office, it can be really hard to switch off from work. This constant connection to work can increase stress and lead to various health problems. It's not just about individual struggles either. This isolation epidemic has broader societal and economic impacts. If a significant portion of the workforce is feeling disconnected and stressed, it can affect overall productivity and innovation. So what can we do about this? Well, recognizing the problem is the first step. We need to start having honest conversations about the challenges of remote work, including the mental health impacts. Companies need to take proactive measures to maintain social connections among remote workers. This might include regular check-ins, virtual social events, or even occasional in-person meetups where possible. As individuals, we need to be more intentional about creating boundaries between work and personal life, and actively seeking out social connections. It's also important to reach out for help if you're struggling. Many companies offer mental health resources for employees, and there are also numerous online support groups for remote workers. We've talked about how remote work affects our relationships and can lead to isolation, but there's another issue that's becoming increasingly apparent: the blurring of work-life boundaries. This phenomenon is changing the way we structure our days and impacting our personal lives in ways we might not even realize. When your home becomes your office, it's not just about the convenience of rolling out of bed and starting work. It's about the struggle to disconnect when your work is always just a few steps away. Many remote workers find it challenging to create a clear separation between their professional and personal lives. This lack of boundaries can lead to increased stress and other health problems. One of the most significant consequences of this blurred line is the tendency for remote workers to put in longer hours. A study by Owl Labs found that remote workers were 43% more likely to work more than 40 hours per week compared to on-site workers. It's easy to see how this happens. When you don't have to physically leave an office, it's tempting to keep working just a little longer to finish up a task or get ahead for the next day. But these extra hours aren't just affecting our work lives. they're spilling over into our personal time and relationships. Without clear work-life boundaries, individuals may feel constantly on call, which can strain family dynamics. Imagine trying to have a family dinner when you're constantly checking your phone for work emails or thinking about that project you need to finish. This issue is particularly pronounced for women, especially working mothers. They often bear the brunt of homeschooling, childcare, and domestic chores, leading to more stress and even longer working hours. It's not just about the time spent working, but also the mental load of juggling multiple...
And let me tell you this. You know, when you work from home, it takes away the exciting feeling because you're always home. You stick up in your house 24/7 or however long, and you're there focusing. Yes, you're seeing about the family. Yes, it's a convenience. But it comes like you stick up with, okay, let me talk about a couple, for example. You and your wife working remotely. Every day, always seeing each other. Yes, they're in their workspace, you in your workspace. But it tends to dim the excitement of the marriage or the relationship. Because you all stick around with each other. No, nothing is wrong with that, you know. But you stick around with each other 24/7. And then it kind of causes a disconnect. Whereas, when you go out to work, it brings an excitement and a joy for you to go home to your significant other. That is one aspect. Because I have a lot of times, and I will use my father as an example. When my father go out to work, he used to be excited to come home to see his children. It used to be an excitement. Because you're away, yes, you're working, but you're socializing and work with other people rather than your home, which is healthy. Because being stuck up in a family, in a household all the time, it kind of causes tension, frustration. Because you're dealing with work, you're frustrated with work, and then you're home dealing with the home life at the same time. It causes a disconnect. It causes tension. So when you go out there to work, you message them and say, oh gosh, I can't wait to come home and see you, because you have not seen them in how many hours. And then too, they talk about when you're at work from home, you have nobody to talk to. Whereas sometimes everybody have a work bestie or a work friend who they're good with, where you can vent a little bit. I ain't say go and talk your family business, you know. But it have something in work might frustrate you, and there's somebody in work that you can confide in. And you can sit down and say, you know, in your downtime, boy, girl, this thing really frustrating me, you know. When you're home, you don't have nobody to talk to. You're going mad, you have to talk to the wall. You might have to go outside and talk to the plants. Because there's no interaction going on. You're cooped up in a house, a home that you're supposed to be joyful in, with work tension. So there's always, yes, it have the pros, and it really have the pros and cons. But when it comes to, I really, if I, get my home, I would not want to mix my work with my family time. When I'm at work physically in an office. Because when I go home, my time is for home. Work should never mix. There should never be a part. Yes, you might have to do a little assignment. That's something different. But when you make it a complete, total space, it clashes with your family time. If you're a new mother and you want to be bonding with your baby, that's something totally different. But families need to know there's a place for work and there's a place for home. because you would not know how to separate the two, as the video said. Because you will be busy at the dinner table and you're on your phone reading emails when you're supposed to have downtime with your family because you don't know how to separate the two. So we're going on. So they have technology dependence. Remote work relies heavily on internet access, software, and digital tools. Technical issues or cybersecurity concerns can disrupt work and reduce efficiency. It is not suitable for all jobs. Many occupations, particularly those involving physical labor, healthcare, manufacturing, or direct customer service cannot be performed remotely. And that's true. A plumber can work from home. An electrician can work from home. Yes, he might have a gadget to carry him to fix. But you can't stay home and be a plumber forever. A nurse can't stay home and be a nurse. So in some jobs, you have to be outside there in the physical. We have to be outside in the physical. Because if we have to be on the field and do coverage and whatever, we have to be outside. We have to be in the building at some point. I can carry on my show from home. That was only in the pandemic. But then you have to have some kind of physical communication with production. And sometimes, when you have physical communication with production, sometimes the lines just get crossed. Because what you're telling them, or what they're telling you, you may not understand. It's better. I'd rather see it for myself. So what they're saying, remote work offers significant advantages, including flexibility, as we said, reduced commuting, improved work-life balance, and potential productivity gains. However, it also presents challenges such as communication, social isolation, and blurred work-life boundaries. The overall effectiveness of remote work depends on the nature of the job, the employee's work habits, the support provided by employers, and the technology available. For many organizations, a hybrid approach that combines remote and in-office has emerged as a way to balance these benefits and challenges. And I have another clip to show you where, we're going for a break? When we go for a break, thank you, production. When we go for a break, I have a video to show you where this guy was in an interview right here in Trinidad and Tobago, and he said with remote working, it brought a lot of financial gain to him. So let's hear it when we come back on Bridging the Gap.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
I am Walter Stewart, President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations Incorporated. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, where we look at NPTA Speaks, National Parent-Teacher Association Speaks, on topical and relevant issues pertaining to parents, teachers, education, and students of Trinidad and Tobago. This, of course, encapsulates local, regional, and international audiences every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, NPTA Speaks.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security. We protect your home, business, community, and much more. Our services include professional baton and armed officers, specialized K-9 units, mobile patrols, secure cash pickups, secure transport, and pepper spray applications and supply coming soon. Don't wait. Secure your assets now. Contact Catch Security today. Call 622-6601, email info@cssl-tt.com, or visit our office at 30-32 Saddle Road, Maraval.
With more and more people working remotely these days, it's as important as ever to keep you and your company's data safe. Around 90% of data breaches are caused by human error. So with that said, here are some examples of the security risks that come with working from home and how to solve them. The most obvious risks are physical. It's much easier to have a laptop or phone stolen than a desktop computer that's permanently located in your office. When working from public places, never leave your devices unattended. Always keep your devices within reach. Put them away and take them with you even if you plan to only get up for a second. Be sure to also watch out for looky-loos peering at your screen. Avoid working in areas where people can look over your shoulder, such as in front of windows or in the middle of a cafe. Even when you're working from home, be vigilant about children and pets. They can easily delete work by accident or access files that shouldn't be tampered with. It's good practice to create separate accounts for work and personal use with different passwords for each, and to get in the habit of locking your screen when you walk away from your computer. You can even place your computer in a locked cabinet or room for extra safety when you aren't working. The less obvious risks are digital and can come in many forms. Many personal computers may not have the proper antivirus and anti-malware software installed. This can leave you wide open to phishing scams and hackers hijacking information. Whether you are using your personal computer or a work computer, the best method here is to never open emails from people you don't trust or click on links or open attachments that seem suspicious. You should also always use company-approved software for your work. Not all software is developed with the same security standards, and third-party software can easily compromise the security of your device. Password security is also extremely important. Leaving post-its with passwords attached to your monitor or reusing the same password for all of your accounts is like having no password at all. It's best practice to use a password manager, which makes it easy to create and update strong, individual passwords for all of your accounts. Just remember that the password manager software you use should be approved by your company ahead of time. Lastly, whether you're connecting to the internet through a private home network or a public shared network, VPNs are the best method to keep you as secure as possible. VPNs work by routing all of the data coming from your computer through a private server, essentially blocking any unwanted visitors that may be connected to the same network. Follow these guidelines while working remotely to ensure you work as securely as possible.
And a mixture of information. But tomorrow, I want a bacchanal. Because tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Bacchanal Friday. Production say, oh no, because they know when I come in. I come in. some Bacchanal Friday because it has some disconnect. And I want to tell thank you to Pops who called earlier on because he said the children have a disconnect with society and you don't know what kind of thing going on here. So I have a little charming for you. And this going across the board. I ain't talking no children alone. This going across the board from nursery to tertiary to the elderly. I'm telling you, it's going across the board. So tomorrow is Charm Your Friday. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate the call. I appreciate you all staying locked on. Today was an informative day, but yet still, you know, I still have to talk about things that hurting us. And Ms. Robertson, go and repent and apologize to the nation for wasting our time. Okay, see my psalms that I prayed last night? I ain't forget you. Good. So thank you for joining me. You all stay sweet. Rain falling. Be safe. Don't get wet. Don't get it cold. I ain't want to hear all this sick over the weekend. So stay sweet. Stay blessed. God is love. God is light. Later.
And opinions expressed in the preceding program were those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content was provided for information